My husband ended our marriage with a text message. I'm leaving you for my 22-year-old girlfriend. We're heading to Barcelona. The joint account is empty. I smirked and typed back, best of luck. He had no idea what was coming. By the time he realized his mistake, it was too late. While I was assisting clients at my upscale clothing store, another identical message buzzed through. I'm leaving you for my 22-year-old girlfriend. We're heading to Barcelona. The joint account is empty. My hand stayed steady as I folded a silk blouse for Mrs. Margaret. The only hint of the bombshell that had just shattered my 12-year marriage was a faint tightness in my chest. I waited until Mrs. Margaret left, her purchase wrapped in our elegant gold tissue, before replying, best of luck. I'm Clara, 38 years old, and I'd just been handed the most heartless breakup imaginable. But while Victor was likely gloating about his dramatic escape, picturing me broken by his betrayal, I was calmly locking up my shop at day's end. The red flags had been waving for months, late nights at the office with no extra income, a sudden password lock on his phone, his newfound obsession with the gym, flashy new suits, and a desperate attempt to reclaim his youth. 4 months ago, I found a receipt for a lavish dinner for 2 on a night he claimed he was swamped with work. That same evening, I opened a private account at a different bank. When Victor proposed combining our finances for convenience a week later, I agreed, quietly funneling my personal savings into my new account. The joint account he drained held just enough to avoid suspicion, about 2 months' worth of routine deposits. The rest of my money was secure, along with meticulous records of every questionable transaction he'd made over the past year. My phone buzzed again. Don't waste your time pleading. Sophia and I leave tomorrow. I'll send someone for my stuff. Sophia? The new intern at his firm. I'd seen her at the company's holiday party, giggling too eagerly at his tired jokes, brushing his arm when she thought no one noticed. She was young enough to be his daughter and naive enough to believe she was unique. I didn't respond. Instead, I dialed my attorney, with whom I'd consulted 3 months earlier after spotting hotel charges on our credit card statement. It's time, I said evenly. He's made his move. The paperwork's ready, she replied. I'll file tomorrow morning. Should we notify him in Barcelona? No hurry. Let him think he's in control. Another text from Victor, this must be tough for you. You're not getting any younger, after all. My shop? The thriving boutique I'd built from nothing? The one that out-earned his lackluster corporate job? I grinned, imagining the legal documents awaiting him in Barcelona. Let him bask in his fleeting triumph. That night, I slept in my house, the one I inherited from my grandmother and kept solely in my name, despite Victor's persistent hints to add his. Another gut instinct that had proven wise. While sorting through the files my lawyer would need, I stumbled across our wedding photos. Victor looked so different then, before his midlife crisis turned him into a parody of himself, wearing ill-fitting trendy shirts, mimicking the slang of his younger colleagues, trying to pass as one of them at 41. My phone kept buzzing with his smug messages, I've been planning this for months. Sophia gets me in ways you never did. You'll manage. Maybe you'll find someone your age. I told my family. They agree we've drifted apart. It's no one's fault. I saved screenshots of every word, adding them to my evidence folder. Let him bury himself. My lawyer would relish his casual admission of premeditation and his gleeful boast about draining our account. One message stood out. I used the joint card for our flights and hotel. Call it my parting gift, LOL. I called the credit card company. This is Mrs. Santos. I need to report unauthorized charges and cancel a card immediately. Can you specify the charges, ma'am? 2 business class tickets to Barcelona booked today, plus a reservation at the Grand Hotel. Do you have proof of fraud? Text messages from my husband admitting he used our card for his trip with his girlfriend after emptying our account. I can forward them. The representative's professional tone barely masked her glee as she voided the charges. By the next day, Victor and Sophia would arrive at the airport to find their tickets invalid and their hotel booking cancelled. Another text from Victor, you can keep the house for now until you find something smaller. I laughed out loud. Did he truly believe he had any claim to my grandmother's house? Had his arrogance blinded him to the fact that his name wasn't on the deed? Another message followed, I know your shop means a lot to you. I'm open to a fair settlement for my share. My share? Of the business I'd funded, nurtured, and grown while he dismissed it as my cute project? I poured myself a glass of my finest red wine, the one I'd saved for a milestone. Worthless. The next day, Victor would discover the harsh reality of asset division laws. But that evening, I savored the quiet and began plotting my next chapter. Morning brought a barrage of increasingly frantic texts. What did you do to the card? The airline rejected our tickets. The hotel canceled our booking. Answer me. I muted my phone and headed to the shop. Fridays were our busiest, and I had a new line of designer coats to arrange. Life moved forward, even when your husband runs off with an intern half his age. At midday, his mother called. Clara, sweetheart, Victor told us everything, how you were so controlling, how you drove him away. He says you're being spiteful, sabotaging his plans. I put the call on speaker while organizing a display. Did he mention he emptied our account and used our card for his mistress's vacation? Silence. After a moment, she stammered, well, he said you left him no choice, that you were distant. Renata, I have his texts. Want me to read them? The one where he brags about stealing our money? Or the one mocking my age? Another pause. He was harsh, I told him that wasn't right. Thanks for calling, Renata. My lawyer advised me to document everything, so I'll end this now. Victor tried calling repeatedly that afternoon. I ignored every attempt. He wanted to guilt-trip me, twist the narrative, as he always had. But I was done with his manipulations. He could rage all he wanted, nothing could stop what was coming. After closing the shop, I stopped by my favorite cafe, ordered a latte, and sat by the window, watching the world go by. The reality sank in. My 12-year marriage had ended with a callous text, yet I felt no sorrow, only a growing sense of liberation. I'd spent too long trying to salvage something he'd destroyed long ago. My phone buzzed again, this time a message from Sophia, you're pathetic. Just accept you lost. I chuckled softly. Poor thing. She'd soon learn the mess she'd stepped into. I didn't reply. The real world would teach her soon enough. I called my lawyer, who answered promptly. Can we proceed with everything? I asked. Filed this morning. He'll be served by tonight. We'll ensure he can't claim ignorance. Perfect. Can we expedite the claim on the withdrawn funds? Already in motion. He's in for a rough ride. I smiled. I loved Elena's precision. She understood the quiet, calculated justice I craved. Back at my house, I unwound with music and another glass of wine, each sip a toast to my freedom. I pictured Victor at the airport, scrambling to salvage his plans, baffled by how quickly his scheme unraveled. The next morning, the fallout intensified. Renata called again. Clara, please, we need to talk. Victor's desperate. He says you've ruined his life. He made his choices, Renata. He cheated, stole, and thought he could evict me from my own home. I'm just protecting what's mine. She sighed. He's sorry. He says it was a mistake. He'll have plenty of time to reflect, I said coolly. Soon after, Victor emailed, a mix of desperation and bravado. He claimed Sophia wasn't serious, that he'd acted rashly. You've got your shop, you'll be fine, he wrote. We can settle this without lawyers. No need for a fight. I laughed. After everything, he still thought he could charm his way out. I didn't respond. Instead, I asked Elena to accelerate the financial audit. Victor's reckless spending, always flashing cash to impress, would soon catch up with him. 2 days later, Sophia texted again, this time defeated, you won. He's not worth it. Hope you're happy. As predicted, their fling was crumbling. That afternoon, Victor showed up at the shop, disheveled, with bloodshot eyes and a wrinkled jacket. I felt nothing, no anger, no pity, just mild Bell, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing content. Red Heart, your support means everything. Hit that like button and subscribe. Rock it like what you saw? Then smash that like button and subscribe to stay updated.